What is up, my dashing dudes? I am the Hans TV, and I hope that y'all are ready for some of the most entitled people you can get, because I am starting y'all's week off strong with r/entitled parents. Our first post for the day comes from Duro Bozaru. But Christmas is about family. I've really enjoyed these stories and thought it's about high time I shared my story about my mom. She's a special one. When I was in high school, my parents got divorced and my mom has never stopped being bitter about it. She throws tantrums and tries to pull power moves to get more time or attention from her kids whenever possible. Since I live abroad, she kicks this behavior into overdrive whenever I come back to visit. This particular year, my grandmother on my father's side had passed away, and not long before that, his second wife had died. Needless to say, my dad had a pretty rough couple of years, and he really wanted me home for Christmas. I didn't have the funds to buy a ticket, so he bought me one. He even paid extra to get me a more comfortable seat on the exit rows on a direct flight so I could get there quickly and in comfort. He was putting me up at his place for the entire visit and feeding me all the food I could eat. Never once asked for a cent. The only thing he wanted was my company at the holidays, and how could I say no to my recently widowed father? It was lovely to spend time with him, meet the new lady in his life, and eat everything I can't get here. Of course, I can't go home and not tell my mom I'm coming, or visit her. Le sigh. First thing she does is start telling me how I'll be spending Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with her and my brother. I told her that's unreasonable since my dad paid for me to be home to spend time with him and she can have one day, but not both. Not that money is the most important thing ever, but dad has put so much into bringing me there and deserves the greatest benefit, as opposed to whiny, selfish brat I have for the mother. She starts whining and laying on the guilt trip. But you're staying with your dad. He gets to see you every day. It's not fair. I'm only asking for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Christmas is about family. Yeah, Mom. Christmas is about family, which is why I want to see my dad, his brothers, and my cousins. We were planning a sort of belated memorial dinner for my grandma since most of us would be able to be together. Mom starts threatening to just show up at my uncle's house to crash the dinner since we're still married in the eyes of God. I'm still part of this family. Thankfully, Dad's side of the family was prepared for her drama and planned for us to meet on Boxing Day. What's Boxing Day? Boxing Day? Boxing Day. What is Boxing Day? Boxing Day, secular holiday celebrated after Christmas Day, originally in the UK. Oh, okay, so it's just a day celebrated after Christmas. Okay, cool. But I still want to spend the 24th or 25th with my dad, so Mom brings in her trump card. I already told your grandparents we're coming to visit. Great. She always uses her parents, who I adore. Rest in peace, Grandpa. He passed a few years after this, as a way to get what she wants. They're only available for a visit on Christmas Day. They're elderly, they don't do anything but read books and naps. But it's not worth it to argue. I talked to my dad and he's super understanding. He was married to her for nearly 20 years, so he knows how she is. And I'm off to my mom's house for Christmas Eve. My brother and I are chilling out, cracking jokes, and reminiscing about dumb kid stuff. Mom is insisting we have to eat the stuff she likes, drink what she wants, and watch all the Christmas movies she wants to watch. When I get a text from my best friend of 15 plus years, his mother, who has been battling cancer for years, had just passed on. I'm in shock. I tell my mom I need to go to his house right away since he's home alone and he has just lost his mother to cancer. My mom. But it's Christmas Eve. You can't go. Me. His mother just died. He is alone. I'm going there to make sure he's okay. Mom. No, you can't go. Christmas is about family. Me. His family is dead and he is alone. I am going to his house now. Mom, actually shocked I'm snapping back at her. Okay, fine. Go tell him I'm sorry about his mom, but you have to be home by 10. It's Christmas. It's 9 p.m. and I'm done with her shit. I'm going to his house and I will come home when I decide to. Do you really think an hour is enough time when his mother just died? Mom, okay, go, but be home by 11. Christmas is about family. By this time, my friend had arrived. He drove over to pick me up since I can't drive, and I just walked out without a word. I came home sometime later than Mom's curfew and somehow survived the rest of the holiday. Mom never apologized or saw the error of her ways. Thankfully, my friend was okay with the time, and while I'm super sad his mom died, I'm glad I was there when it happened. And yes, my mom did whine a bunch about me spending time to go to the funeral instead of spending time with her. Remember, Christmas is about family, just not the dead or grieving ones. I'm surprised OP's father didn't yeet right out of her life as soon as he realized how bad she was in entitlement. Our next post comes from Shaleka. Entitled kid nearly loses a finger, and entitled mom nearly loses an eye. So I told my dear old mom about this subreddit, and surprise, surprise, she shares with me an entitled mother story from when I was a wee little shit of just 5 years old. At the time, I had a toy plush in the shape of a cat. Took it everywhere. We were out shopping for food, and me being a strong and independent girl was going to grab a bag of chips while mom was in the same aisle. Cue the entitled kid thinking my cat was his. He grabs the tail and hits me in the eye to make me let go. Now, 25-year-old me is vindictive and petty. 5-year-old me was just plain feral. My mom and entitled mom are alerted to the little quarrel when I sink my teeth in his hand, but apparently I got some good grip on his thumb as he can't pull quite free. Apparently let go when he let go of my cat and led to a strategic retreat to my mom. Entitled mother, some props to her I guess, checks on her kid's finger. It's still attached and mom believes he made a full recovery. Then entitled mother came to scream at us. Now mom was perfectly willing to be civil, but when entitled mom decided to try kicking me in the face, mom hit her back with the 500-gram can of salted peanuts she had in her hand. Apparently the can bent when it hit the bone and bent inward to the eye. My mom assured me entitled mother made a full recovery. There was no camera to record anything, but luckily we had enough eyewitnesses to get me and mom off without much more than time lost. I might have been a little clickbaity with the title. I got a few more entitled parents stories. To avoid any possible issues with Rule 4, I'll post those on another day. I guess you could say the title wasn't too clickbaity. I mean, she did hold on to that kid's finger, and crushing the occipital bone of an eye really can cause you to lose an eye. Our final post for the day comes from My Plush Frog. EM keeps dog crated literally 24/7. Dog is clearly miserable / neglected, but refuses to rehome dog because ED would be heartbroken. Rant? I am so disgusted and disturbed by people who treat their animals like possession / toys. Same. Leaving your dog in a tiny crate literally 24/7 every single day is absolutely unacceptable. I agree. It's just a prisoner and cute for display only adornment. It has nothing to do but lay there and sleep or watch you. That is animal abuse. And when you leave the house and it cries, it's not just sad, it is miserable. It is wailing. It is desperate to see you and simply just be out of its cage for once. And despite the fact that it is potty trained, friendly, and well behaved outside of the cage, EM insists that it stays inside. She's giving it abandonment issues because keeping the dog outside of the cage is too much work. It just wants to sit with its family, and instead of rehoming the animal, EM pretends all of this is fine and acceptable. You are willfully ignorant because you don't want to lose the animal. Well, the dog is miserable every day of its life. Congrats, EM. You're making your pet suffer just to make your life less inconvenient. The pet that you chose to adopt and promised to care for? Yeah. Dogs have roughly the mental capacity of a toddler. Would you leave a toddler in its crib literally all day, every day? Unacceptable. This is killing me. I had to rant, I don't know. EM refuses to rehome the dog or even consider it because the dog belongs to her 13-year-old ED. ED ignores the dog 98% of the time and won't feed it, and is already bored looking into new pets like a cockatiel. ED is a total mess. She is failing school because her parents never discipline her or tell her there will be consequences for sleeping in class and never do any work. She has no chores, etc. But of course, ED can't bear to get rid of the dog that neither her nor EM treat with respect. Shut up, it's literally an old toy to you now that you just can't part with. Cry me a river. Seriously, that living creature deserves so much better. To me, this last post belongs in r/infuriating, cause this pisses me off. Well, alright my dashing dudes, on that note, we are going to end today's episode of r/EntitledParents. I hope you liked the stories. If you did, I'll link them down in the description as always, and if you liked the video, feel free to drop a sub, a like, and a comment down below what you'd like to see me read next. A huge shout out to Connor for being my very first patron. I love that you're supporting the channel, dude. You have been my biggest supporter since you found me. And to everyone else who has subscribed in the past few months, thank you so much. I am honestly humbled by what y'all are doing and to see that y'all are liking my videos. But with that being said, I will see you in the next video.